You've heard of Medusa, the monster, the creature with snakes for hair and a gaze that turned men to stone, slain by a hero, celebrated as a villain. But here is the truth that history buried. Medusa was never the monster. She was the victim, and the real monster in this story has been worshipped as a god for 3,000 years. To understand Medusa's story, you need to understand the world she lived in. Ancient Greece was not the world of democracy and philosophy you read about in
so
school.
have you been lied to?
It was a world ruled by gods, and the gods were not kind. The gods of Olympus held absolute power over every mortal life. They could bless you with greatness or destroy you on a whim. They took what they wanted, they punished who they chose. And mortals, no matter how innocent, no matter how faithful, had no protection, no rights, no recourse. You simply hoped the gods would not notice you. Medusa was born mortal, one of 3 sisters known as the Gorgons. But unlike her sisters, who were born immortal creatures, Medusa was human, beautiful, vulnerable, and faithful to the gods above all else. Medusa devoted her life to Athena, goddess of wisdom and warfare. She became a priestess in Athena's sacred temple, one of the highest callings a mortal woman could achieve. She took a sacred vow of chastity. She gave everything to her goddess, her freedom, her future, her entire life in service. She believed with every part of herself that the goddess watched over her, that inside these sacred walls, she was protected. She was wrong. Poseidon was the god of the sea, brother of Zeus, one of the most powerful beings in existence. He had watched Medusa for years. He wanted her. And gods in ancient Greece simply took what they wanted. He came to Athena's temple. He crossed the sacred threshold. He violated every law of gods and men inside the one place Medusa believed she was safe. Inside the house of the goddess she had dedicated her entire life to. The temple that was supposed to be holy ground. The goddess who was supposed to protect her. None of it mattered. Medusa screamed for Athena. She prayed with everything she had. The goddess did not come. When Athena finally came, she came in fury. Not fury at Poseidon, fury at what had happened inside her temple. Her sacred space had been defiled. Her holy ground had been violated, and rather than direct that fury at the god who had violated it, she directed it at the woman who had survived it. Poseidon was a god, untouchable, unpunishable. To challenge him would be to start a war on Olympus itself, and so Athena did what gods do when the powerful are guilty. She found someone weaker to blame instead. Medusa knelt before her goddess, broken, betrayed, begging for mercy, for understanding, for any shred of the protection she had devoted her life to earning. Athena looked down at her most faithful priestess and raised her hand. The curse hit Medusa like a thunderbolt. Her beautiful hair, the hair men had crossed oceans to see, began to writhe, to move, to transform. Strand by strand, it became something living, something monstrous. Snakes. Her warm eyes, the eyes that had looked upon Athena's altar with nothing but devotion, were torn from her. Replaced, given a curse that made her the loneliest creature who would ever live. A gaze that turned every living being who looked at her directly to stone. She could never again look at another face, never again be seen, never again be known. And then the exile, cast out of the only home she had ever known, cast out of the temple she had devoted her life to, sent to the very ends of the earth. A barren, desolate island where no mortal would ever come, where she would live alone, feared, hunted, hated for what had been done to her. She lived in that exile for years, alone with the stone statues of the men who had come to try to kill her and failed, men who came for glory, Men who came because the gods sent them. Men who looked at her and were turned to stone before they could raise their swords. She never asked for their deaths. She never wanted them. Every stone man was proof not of her evil, but of her curse. Every statue was another person Athena's punishment had taken from her. She was not a predator. She was a prisoner. In a body she never chose, on an island she never wanted, living a life that had been taken from her by the people she trusted most. Then came Perseus, a young hero on a quest to prove himself. He had been sent to retrieve Medusa's head, a task so dangerous it was considered a death sentence, but the gods armed him. Athena gave him a mirrored shield so he could look at Medusa without meeting her gaze. Hermes gave him winged sandals. The very gods who had destroyed Medusa now equipped the man who came to finish the job. He found her sleeping, the cursed woman who could not look at the world, who lived surrounded by the stone remains of everyone who had ever tried to come near her. He crept through her cave. He raised his sword, and he took her head, not in battle, not with honor, but while she slept. The gods celebrated. Olympus rang with praise for the brave hero who had slain the monster. Athena placed Medusa's head image on her own shield called Aegis, the head of the woman she had cursed, now her trophy, her weapon. When Perseus took Medusa's head, from her blood, from her body, from everything that had been taken from her, something was born. Something that had been waiting inside her all along. Pegasus, the winged horse, pure white, breathtakingly beautiful, free, born from Medusa's blood, from the most wronged woman in all of Greek mythology, came the most beautiful and free creature in all of it, as if everything that had been stolen from her was given form, given wings, and set free into the sky she never got to see. This is Greek mythology, and there are 100 more stories just like this. Stories of gods and creatures.
Is this really real? Is this the real story of Medusa? Please, if you know, just leave your comments under the comment section for me. Wow, this story is so amazing. I'll bring you more of this. I go by the name GH Rizaro. I'm out.